Welcome to Growing Your Team, a podcast designed for small business owners seeking to grow their company with the help of employees and contractors. Your time is limited, which means growing and leveraging teams is essential for business success. The Growing Your Team podcast is the place to learn tips and techniques designed to help you know when it's the right time to hire, how to select perfect fit team members, and how to maximize productivity while creating a positive work environment. Drawing from her 10-plus years of leadership and hiring experience, here is your host, Jamie Van Kuyk.
Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, I'm going to take you years back and tell you about my first hiring mistake. Because yes, like you, I was not an expert on hiring when I first had to do it. I received very little training. The training I received was attending interviews with some other managers occasionally, and then as soon as I got that promotion, it was, this is your decision, you are on your own. And I was just like, what? And I didn't really know what I didn't know. And oh my gosh, I think every company should have thorough training for people that are in charge of making hiring decisions. And if a company is not doing thorough training, they are throwing money away because bad hiring decisions will be made. Probably a lot more than good hiring decisions will be made, especially at first with new managers and leaders. So my first hiring mistakes. This was shortly after I was promoted to manager, and I had an opening on my team to replace myself. Because I moved up to manage the team I had been managing. And there was this candidate that I loved. She had so much experience in account management, and that's what I was hiring for, account managers. She was super friendly, used to working with clients, used to working with sales teams, and seemed like a winner. So I was definitely quick to say yes. Fast forward, this person was not a fit. I think they were with the company probably about a little less than a year, and that was probably too long. But with this team member, they had so much good going for them that we weren't going to run them out of the organization, but luckily they were given an opportunity elsewhere and left. Why was it a mistake to hire this person? And how did I learn to do things differently in the future? The first thing is something I see a lot of people do. They look at kind of the tactics of the job. What does this person have to do? And kind of look at it big picture. So like I said, this position was an account management position that was working with clients, working with the sales team, taking the information they were getting from both, helping to communicate things internally so that things could get produced that need to be produced, and get things into market, and then manage the budgets once things were in market. All those things she had done before. The company that she came from was very similar to ours in terms of that high level process. So when we were going through the interview, which I tell you, we really didn't ask the right interview questions at all, I was like, yes, it's like this person works here. The problem was we didn't focus on how do these tasks get done inside our company? What makes our company different than other companies where the same high-level processes are getting done? So working with clients, working with sales to distribute information internally or compile it so it goes to the right people internally to then produce something that's going out into market and then manage budgets. But what does that look like for us? It's different. Ours involved extremely high attention to detail. There were so many intricacies with our programs that you really had to know a lot in order to be successful. And I'm talking a lot. And it's a lot of stuff you couldn't know until you were internal. So we couldn't look for people who had the knowledge because they'd done those particular things before, because there was a lot of internal terms and nuances and everything that had to be learned on the job. So we should have been looking for someone who can really catch on to the details that make A and B completely different really quickly. We didn't do that. We didn't look at this person's ability to learn new things, especially new, very detailed, intricate things. The other thing was that this particular position required a good amount of data entry type work in order to communicate things. So yes, you're getting this information, you're being a consult to sales and the client, you're taking this information, you're entering it into the forms and everything we have to then pass on. We didn't look at any of her ability to do data entry in this way. Not every account management job requires the level of data entry that this one did. So we didn't look at that. And it wasn't a strength of hers. It slowed her down and it was not where she wanted to be. She did not want to be doing that data entry. And let me tell you, while this job required a decent amount of data entry, the more you hated it, the more time that took. So you really needed to find people who were good at it and could be quick at it and get it done. And there were other things that we never looked at. We never tested. We never said, can they do our job? It was, can they do a similar job? And yes, she could do similar jobs. If you looked at her strengths, there was a lot of strengths that she had that made it so she could do similar jobs, but she wasn't successful at our job. And we kept sitting there and saying, especially me as a new manager, being like, why isn't this working? Why does this feel so hard? Why does this person who has amazing sales relationships, amazing client relationships, who can manage these budgets amazingly, not be a complete success in this role? And it was because our company was different. We had to look at the way things flowed, our processes internally, and we had to find someone that matched that in addition to being a good account manager anywhere. And that's something I see businesses, those mistakes I see businesses make all the time. They just look at those high level definitions of the job and they don't focus on what makes that role successful inside their company, what makes someone successful on their team. Now that I'm years and years and years past this example, one of the things I always do when I'm working with my clients is say, or when I'm talking to a new potential client, is say that I could be hiring someone for the exact same title in the exact same industry, but because we're doing projects for two different companies, those roles are extremely different. So we're not looking for the same person. We're not looking for the same skill set. But then I've hired people where it's two different titles in two different industries, but what's important about those team members are very similar. So that's why here at Growing Your Team, we are not industry specific with the types of clients we work with because our method focuses so much on who do you need? Who is going to be successful within your company? Because it's different than who is going to be successful in that other company that seems very similar to yours, in that other company that's hiring a position with the same title. So you really need to know who it is that you're looking for so you can find that person. And it's the details. It's the details about what's going to make someone successful that matter in addition to the general job functions. So don't make the same mistake that I made. Don't make the mistake of, wow, this person seems amazing, and finding out that they're not so amazing because they're not actually a fit for what you are hiring for, that they are not the right team member for your business to fulfill this role. They're not the person that you're going to be happy giving a paycheck to every pay period. So let's find you the right team member. Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then set up time and let's talk, because this is exactly how I help business owners like you. When you go through my Hire framework, not only will you learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire, but you'll be able to identify and select candidates who have the skills you need and can succeed in the role. Going through this consulting process not only helps you find the right new hire for your current open position, but it teaches you how to repeat this process with every new position you add to your company as it continues to grow. So if you're a small business owner who is ready to hire, has a rough idea of the position you need to add, and you're tired of going through the hiring process only to end up with bad fitting team members, then let's talk. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, Jamie, @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart and let's talk about your hiring needs.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Growing Your Team with your host, Jamie Van Kuyk. Be sure to subscribe and head on over to growingyourteam.com to connect, access the show notes, and discover more ways to hire and leverage your perfect fit team.